this has been a great device for the past 2 weeks. Now, there are obviously some big pros and some big cons about this device that I've had with utilizing this as my primary main device. All right. Now, at the end of the day, is this device right for you, right for me? There's a lot of factors in play, and we're going to go over that today. We're going to go over obviously the design, cameras, performance, and overall my experiences with this guy at the end of the day. And then if it's the right pickup for you, or even at the end, stay to the end to see if I'm end up keeping this device or not. So this is the experience of the iPhone Air.
Okay, so first impressions with the Design Air. Honestly, you literally just kind of have to go and try it out. Not like go and buy one, but just go to an Apple store, or if you know a friend that has it, just hold it in your hand, because it's really impressive in terms of both engineering features and as well as just how lightweight it feels. Coming at 5.6 millimeters thick or thin, depending on how you see it, and 165 grams, it's so lightweight. The airness of it, it's indescribable. It's more of a feeling at the end of the day. And honestly, this whole phone is more of just a vibe. If you want something that looks super minimalistic and ultra clean at the same time. With the display also, it's been bumped up too. I didn't realize this, but when I went to the Apple store, this is technically larger than the iPhone Pro. This is a 6.5 inch OLED with 120 Hz ProMotion and 3000 nits peak brightness. It's literally smack dab between the two sizes of the Pro and the Pro Max. And on top of that, it's got ceramic shield on the front and back, and I've actually been willing enough to go fully naked on this device the whole time. I haven't had a single case, not even a screen protector, because I'm confident enough that those upgrades to the ceramic shield and the titanium frame, they really literally said this is the most durable iPhone they've ever created.
iPhone Air still gets amazing all-day battery life.
Okay, so now as for battery though, I did run a 2-day test of it when I first got the iPhone, and I wanted to put it through a more than active ringer for myself. Normally I do work from home and I work in an office, and I'm not far from a charger usually. But during those 2 days where I was out and about, taking videos, taking photos, hanging out with some cousins and some of his friends, and then going to an MTG event, hanging out at a kid's birthday party, taking more photos and videos, you know, it lasted from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. at night, coming home with usually around 20% battery by the end of it. So yeah, Apple's claim all day, yeah, true to its word at least. Now for the camera. It's a single 48 megapixel fusion camera. Literally camera, right? You heard me, camera. One, I really wish it had the damn ultra wide at the end of the day. The single camera is great. I snapped some wonderful photos throughout my time with this device. The ultra wide I do miss, but for telephoto, I'm kind of okay without it, as I seldomly use it on my 16 Pro. But for a phone that's between the base and the Pro, how is it missing one camera? It's like you're paying more for less. Something that I did really enjoy was the front-facing camera.
Pretty cool though. Honestly, I think this is the best upgrade to the iPhone 17 system so far, is the fact that you have a square sensor at the top of your front-facing camera, and then you hold selfie mode like this, as normally most people would, and then you end up just doing a horizontal mode, whatever, landscape mode, and this is how it would look. So yeah, pretty cool, I'd say.
Now for the performance and use case for my day-to-day life. The A19 Pro, it's fast, but
20 FPS. Oh, that doesn't feel great. Oh, 15. Oh yeah, that doesn't feel great at all. Looking like some choppy frames out here. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't game too much on this device, but I guess, you know, oh god, 12. This isn't great. You definitely would have to. Oh my god, I feel the stutters. I feel the stutters for sure. Okay, I know they talked about great gaming capabilities, but comparatively to an actual PC, obviously, this is a mini PC. If you think about it, it's very stuttery. Trying to watch even this.
It's not a full PC built like the 50 series card at the end of the day, but it's good enough for mobile gaming. Now, the only issue is it does get really hot while doing some more quote-unquote intensive tasks.
There's not a lot of place to dissipate the heat. So whereas something like the iPhone 17 Pro, you get a lot more better heat solution with the vapor chamber as well as the aluminum body. Cooling is much better. Now, I know there's a lot of sacrifices, right, with it being so thin, right? This kind of reminds me of like small form factor PCs. When you design, you shove as much power inside this machine, but you do have trade-offs with a lot of the heat coming through too. So it gets so warm just right now that they got a design of how to see that there isn't going to be some sort of thermal throttling while utilizing this device. So that's just a little quick thing that I've considered a lot of times when I've been utilizing this phone for like the past 2 weeks now, that there is a lot of heat coming off this top plateau portion a lot of times. And then we're going to do a little quick speed test right now. So my favorite website is so far been to do speed.cloudflare because it's got this little cute bunny on the side. But yeah, so the iPhone Air has a special C1X modem built specifically for this plateau. Now, the Pro and the base models come with the C1 modem. So they built this specifically just for the Air device. Now, how fast, how good is it in terms of actual speed? Now, I'm using AT&T on a 5G network in the Bay Area, so obviously your results will vary. But this is going to be my test results so far. Not great, according to them. But hey, almost 70, 69, nice. Not bad, I'd say, at least from a day-to-day. I'm not streaming out here 4K video anyway. But yeah, or not even playing too intensive a game. For my use case, pretty good, I'd say.
Now, when I watch content though, the audio quality is, not great. Coming from a 16 Pro, there is a lack of difference in fullness, I would call it. I usually watch a lot of stuff in landscape mode, and audio coming from the left-hand side does feel a little bit odd to me. Unless you're watching mostly vertical scrolling. Even then though, it does sound a little bit more muddier or flatter. Just take a look right here.
Honestly, comparing the speaker qualities from both the iPhone 16 Pro and the Air, it just sounds so muffled on this one as opposed to this one, like flat, like something's covering the speaker. And the weirdest part is the fact that it only comes from one side. So I watch a lot of content, vertically, horizontally, landscape mode, and it's so weird just having audio only coming out from the left ear side mostly. So getting used to, but if you're just on TikTok, scrolling, Instagram, whatever, like it's not that big of a deal. But it does. Okay, let's try.
You have to play Jeremy Lin basketball, and if you go down, you must go down swinging. Game, and he said this is probably your last game in the NBA. If they put you in, you have to play Jeremy Lin basketball, and if you go down, you must go down swinging.
It just sounds worse. This probably doesn't pull as good of a understanding for the quality, but it just doesn't sound as good. It just feels fuller on this guy. That's the best way I could describe it. The 16 Pro sounds way fuller as the iPhone Air. This is a freaking amazing device. Big phone energy in a small form factor. And realistically, at the end of the day, this reminds me a lot like the small form factor PC building. There are some quirks with it, like there are some trade-offs at the end of the day where like you have to have a different camera trade-off, right? Like you can't shove all the cameras in the system, right? And then as well as like a nerfed GPU core. So there's one less GPU core in this guy. And then obviously the trade-offs of like battery life and how it's built in terms of the case that's selected here. So right, because the thin form factor, as well as on top of shoving all the internal components at the very top, there are many design choices that Apple probably did at the end of the day that are specific for this use case. Is this phone right for you? As far as like the design, yeah. This is a pretty great looking phone design, I would say. I haven't seen something like this since I think the iPhone 10 came out. Obviously like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 technically, all the Pros look exactly the same. This is their first like new iteration / model of like what a new device could look like. things I really, really miss, ultra wide camera. I think let alone for that reason, I can't keep this phone because of the ultra wide, the lack of an ultra wide. Telephoto, I could probably live without. I had the opportunity at the end of the day on my kid's first day of school. I brought both of these devices with me to go pick her up. Now, when I wanted to get her first reaction at the end of the day to see how she felt, ask her, how was your first day of school, things like that. And then when I was at school, I defaulted to the Pro because of the ultra wide camera. When you're with your kid, you feel like you have to be within close range, a little bit like helicopter hovering all the time, right? Whatever. As a parent, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I defaulted for this guy because it had an ultra wide. I was able to capture both mom and little one at the same time and ask her reactions, questions, and see how her day went. That alone, I think I'm sticking with my 16 Pro. Yeah. But if you don't really need an ultra wide camera, stick with this guy. It's a great device. If you really need something not as powerful, the base model is just as good. But this, just something about this, you just have to hold in your hand. All right, go to the Apple Store, hold it out, check it out. But now that the honeymoon phase is over, I could probably live without it, I'd say. But yeah, thanks for coming by. I will catch you on the next one. And again, if you really enjoyed this type of video, this review, and if you want to see more Apple stuff, definitely you know what to do down below. I'll catch you all next time.